From bunk beds to baby cots to study desks, my first guest tonight has experience and insight about this business. My name is Paul K. Mwaura. Welcome to the show. Joshua, it's good to have you on the show tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Introduce yourself to us and take us through your background.
Okay, my name is Joshua Karoke. I'm a sales and marketing person. That's my background is a little bit different. So I studied in Delhi University. I did personnel management. I came back to Kenya in 2005, December. In 2006, I was just doing a little bit of graphic works, and I got a job as a sales and marketing person for furniture on Mombasa Road. So stayed there for 3.5 years and moved to one of the biggest furniture companies in Kenya, so in Westlands. I worked there for 2 years, and then I joined another company on Mombasa Road again. Did a lot of production and sales. So later on is when 7.5 years down the line, I decided to look at one niche market where clients were really being sidelined. I used to sell dining, sofas, beds, everything for the house, doing interior work, wallpaper, curtains. But there's a segment I did a research on for the kids, and I discovered there are very few companies that were dealing with that. Approximately 3-4 companies. I registered a company called Kids Castle in March 2014. And in October, I resigned from my employer's place, and the journey started from there.
Joshua, you just mentioned that you did human resource in your schooling and did went through some employment, and now you're in your own business. Where do you get that experience from in carpentry?
This industry is quite a little bit funny because you get, as a salesperson, a client will put an order of a sofa or a bed. And then it's up to you to really go back to the workshop and know, has this fundi done the work? Are your measurements been taken? Because most of the things are custom made. So you're the one who talk to the client. So you're the one to know that that particular item should come out as per the specifications of the client. So that's where now you get the hands-on while you're working.
Talk to us about where you got your starting capital, and also how did you get to choose the location where you're going to be selling your merchandise from?
I'd done a little bit of saving, but I thought it was enough, but it wasn't enough. I had to sell my car. I used to have a small car when I was working from Mombasa Road. So I injected about 380,000. But I thought that was enough because where I'd set up was in Tasia, in Embakasi area. I was targeting maybe the Nyayo Estate place and the eastern side of Nairobi. Then I came to realize I was doing a lot of marketing on Facebook. Then most of the clients who were calling and inquiring about the products were from the upper side of Nairobi. So I decided, wow, they have a challenge of transport. If you try to explain to a client how to get from Nyayo Center to Embakasi Feather Estate, it's tricky. Going to Mombasa Road, turn left at Old North Airport Road, enter Outer Ring Road, which has traffic, and the matatu is there. So I decided, why can't I come and look for a space near where the clients are? So basically, when I came here on Naivasha Road, it's just because of location, to the perception of the product.
Joshua takes us through the kind of products that he makes, where he sources the raw materials from, who he targets, and how much they retail for.
We're doing a lot of kids' beds, cabinets, study desks, and if you can see the kind of beds we do, you can have 3 beds in one spot instead of having 3 beds in different spots in a bed. So, and houses in Nairobi these days are not that big. So we really try to work on space and maximize on the item that you have. Normally we use softwood, that is pine or cypress, and we use hardwood for clients who really need a nice mahogany finish, a nice timber feel. And then we use what you see on your background is medium density fiber boards, which you get from PG Bison industry area. Some of the hardwares have them here, but if you're able to get a big quantity of a big job and you need a big quantity, you can go directly to the manufacturer.
Joshua, You know, you were in employment in several companies, and now you started your own company. I can say you are your own boss. How was that transition for you, and how is it working for yourself?
I would say it's like going to an ocean. You try and you know, slowly get into the water and measuring your depth. First of all, capital was a bit in the business. Capital has always been. I thought I had enough, but I didn't have enough, and the food is also a challenge. If I talk on the financial part, it reached a point 3 months down the line, you find that you have orders that you can really not complete, because of the clients give you 50% of the cost of the product. Then you have to work on them and then deliver so that you can be paid the balance. So as a businessman, I have two mentors who really talked to me, and I thought I got an angel who chipped in, and I had to sell a small stake of the company, and it has been worthwhile.
You've talked about a mentor that has been in your life. What lessons would you say you've learned from him and that you've applied in your business?
First of all, don't bite what you can't chew. That was the biggest. Meaning, he really stopped me from marketing, doing a lot of marketing, because you can market and get more clients, and then you're not able to service those orders. So we have been moving steadily as we grow. Two, cash. You send a fundi for rangi or timber, you need to get the receipts, you need to get every detail. I live here, go to a client, I pay 50 shillings, I need to get each and every detail on that. At least I've done a little bit of accounting, so money and satisfaction, customer satisfaction. There's no need of you having 100 clients and you can't satisfy them. It's better you have 10 and they go home happy, and then they refer more clients.
How many people do you have on board in your workshop?
I have 7 guys on board, and I can say only maybe 2 are permanent, because the place needs to be running on and off. They're paid weekly. The other fundis are on order basis.
So for how many clients have you been able to service and sell products to?
When I was doing a research for this business, I came to a conclusion that we'll be doing about 70% of residential clients, and then 30% of corporate clients. Most of the corporate clients, I've gotten them while I was still working from the other companies. And for the residential, you find moms, mostly moms. The ladies are really are the ones who really own their homes, and I've gotten that from men.
From employment to being your own boss in your own business, you must have learned a lot.
Yes.
What advice would you give people who are watching you right now?
Persistence. Being passionate of what you are doing. It's very, very, very critical. I once thought, sat down with my wife, I thought, she's also in the furniture industry, and we also got her on board from the company she used to work for. I told her, you know, entrepreneurship is like a chronic illness. You have to treat it with 3 C's: clock, cash flow, and client. Clock, you have to be always on time. Cash flow, you have to produce those items to make sure the clients are paying. You don't have things which are in the showroom which are not moving. And finally, the client, who is the king. Without that client, this thing can't gel.
You definitely want to scale up your business. What are the future plans of Kids Castle?
This is a baby I was creating for a team. I want to bring in a team. Maybe in the end of the year or beginning next year after the 12 months, so that I create systems such that I'm not there all the time, because time has always been a big component in this business. You needed to go to a client's place, you have to close the shop, go there, come back, check the foodies, go to the hardware. So I need to bring in maybe somebody in sales. I've already gotten somebody for sales. I need to bring in somebody very good in production, so that now the flow can really move the company up. I want to end up to be an interior guy. Consult, I do everything for you once the building has been finished. Yes.
This is quite a handy job that Joshua does. We'd like to know, how does he spend his free time when he's out of work?
I really wish my family has have been very supportive. I would be working on a Sunday, and it's really tough for my boy, who is turning 4 years old in December. And we can go to, he likes giraffes. We can go to Giraffe Center. Yes, he likes outdoors. I think because during the first maybe 3 years of his life, he has been in the house with the house help. So family first. And also sometimes if you can grab some time and rush to rural areas, because I would like also my family to be, or my son to be close to where he came from, because in this kind of setup, we really need to get those guys outside. That's how I spend my free time.
Thank you very much.
Karibu sana.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right.
Good to have you here.
All right. Thank you. Joshua has a passion to tag along his employees into success. I hope you learned something different from that. We're taking a short commercial break, and when we return, it's all about fashion. Keep it here. Welcome back from the break, and we're here in Langata to learn about fashion as a business. Join me as we learn more from our second guest. It's good to have you on the show tonight, Maggie.
Thank you very much.
All right. From business IT into fashion, that's quite a U-turn when it comes to one's career. Take us through that journey.
I've always wanted to do fashion from a very young age, because my mom used to dress me up when I was little, and I loved dresses. So I used to draw, like sit down and sketch some things, but I never thought about it that much. And in my family, like, you know, most of African families, you have to get a white collar job and all that. So when I joined Strathmore, I wanted to do my best in that and probably get a white collar job. But during that time, then I saw that I was more into fashion, and I really loved what I was doing. Even when I sit down and sketch, it was more calming to me. That's when I decided, let me try to do this. And also, my friends used to see me sketching and ask me, Maggie, what are you doing? Why don't you do more of this? What are you doing in IT? I was anyway, let me see. We'll just see how it goes. I started doing a lot of research, reading a lot, because I had no knowledge of designing or anything of that sort. I first went to the tailor, and I didn't know anything. Trust me. I reached there, I told him what I wanted, because I had sketched everything I had wanted. I gave him. I waited for 2 months before I got the outfits. I was like, okay, this is so hectic. How can somebody do this? But then I decided, what am I doing? Why don't I use my spare time and try to learn more of fashion and at the same time sewing? So I used to go to the tailor in the evening after my classes, learn how to cut and sew. So that time was, I started in my second year. So by the time I reached my 4th year, it was very hard for me because of project and all that. So I stopped myself for some time so that I can finish up and see the way forward. After I had finished my 4th year and graduated last year, June, that's when I decided, I have already seen the response, and actually people keep wanting for more. Let me now do this. That's when I decided to launch Haikarua Designs. Yeah, and also the meaning behind the name is what motivated me to call my fashion house Haikarua. Haikarua means thank you, Jesus. And I was very thankful for the talent I got, because I didn't really have to go to school to know how to sketch and do all this, but it was more of a passion and the motivation behind me that got me where I am right now.
Your parents took you through school and you finished college, but decided to do business at the end of the day. How did they take that?
Okay, I can say my mom is, moms usually are the best. My mom was very understanding. My dad, on the other side, he didn't really understand, what exactly are you trying to do? But at least he gave me the benefit of the doubt and told me like, okay, Maggie, I am here for you. In case you need anything, I will be here and support you. But I'm giving you time and see how it works out for you.
You being a college student and wanted to do fashion, get into business, where did you get that money from?
Okay, yeah, of course I needed capital. So what I used to do, I used to save up my pocket money. I used 30,000 from my pocket money and made my first collection. Then after I made 60,000, I used the 60,000. At times I used to go to Uganda and get like shoes, bags. They have really nice things there. So I used to get stuff from there and come and sell here. That's how I generated my capital. And by the time I was launching Ihekarua, I launched it with 175,000.
You must have exercised a lot of discipline. How was that for you?
Okay, I think it's because I really wanted it that bad. Yeah, and I know that I can do it. That's why I used to tell myself like, Maggie, nobody is going to do this for you. You have to do it yourself.
After working very hard, on your designs, where did you get to showcase the first clothes that you did?
The very first design, the ones took the 2 months. I was late for a fashion show, so I took them on Facebook first. After the response, I then used them for the JW show, and it worked out for me. Yeah.
Talk to us about the ups and downs of juggling between being a student and operating a business.
It was challenging for me because, especially in terms of a lot of fabrics, because I didn't have like prior knowledge to know the fabric, so I have had to teach myself all that. I would go to a shop and ask like the type of fabric. At times I would pick a fabric, then I find out that it's a wrong fabric for what I'm doing. But since I've now been doing it for quite some time, I have come to figure out like what fabrics to use for what and what fabrics won't work for what.
Marketing is key to any business. How does Maggie do it? And when it comes showcasing, where has she done it for?
I'm mostly on Facebook and Instagram with a strong following on Facebook, over 10,000. Our page is called Ihekarua Designs. Yeah, and also like most of people keep like call me, even on the word of mouth, since I've made somebody an outfit, somebody calls me up. And also we do like we have done quite a number of fashion shows. We have done Nairobi Fashion Week, East Africa Fashion Week, Bointa event, and the JW show. Yeah, so through that you get to meet a lot of people and a lot of clients who want to buy your stuff.
With the big orders coming your way, how do you make sure that you deliver? And how big is the team that you work with?
We are now a team of 5. I have 2 tailors, one for ladies, one for gents. Then I have a lawyer involved with us. Then we have a financial analyst, the body who does the bookkeeping. Then there is me. I also do the tailoring most of the time. Yeah.
Competition is tough in this fashion industry. How does Maggie make her designs unique? And what are some of the challenges she has faced while doing this?
I can say because my style is more of classy and stylish, and at the same time, every time I try to look for something different, I don't want to have like, in a case that I just pick something from somebody and just make it exactly the way it is. There has to be a Maggie touch into that, so that whenever a person wears this, like you can say, no, this is from Ihekarua, and you can see the difference.
Your journey from school into business was quite a busy one, and I know you got to learn a lot. What would be your advice to young entrepreneurs out there?
What I would say, if you have an idea, all it takes is one idea. You just need to work on that. And make sure nothing should stop you. Let it not be capital, let it not be something else. If you know in your bones that this is what I want to do it, do it. And as for designers, I would like to tell people to do a lot of research, especially when you're coming up with a collection. You need to know like who is going to wear this at what time. Like, is it summer, winter, or anything of that sort? Like, if you just make an outfit, you don't consider the client who is going to wear. Nobody will buy it. You just sit with a stock and not know anything to do with it.
Let's hear how Maggie gets to relax after a long day.
I am more of a movies kind of lady and cooking. Yeah, I love cooking and watch movies and reading.
And what is this food that you like cooking?
Okay, I'm in love with chapati. I cook that anytime, even if when I wake up in the morning I feel like today I want to have chapati, yeah, that's what I'll have.
Our time is up. Hope you got some inspiration from the two guests that we brought to you tonight. Go to our Facebook page, KTN The Entrepreneur, like our page and leave a comment. Our Twitter handle is @KTN Entrepreneur. Follow us. Until next week, same time, Thursday, 8:30 p.m. from the team and I, is good night and God bless you. Keep it KTN.